Amanda. Okay, I've got a couple things. First of all, I do have John on the line. I want to also say, that your primary guardian angel is a female that ends up passing medically, that had a hard time walking, that was taken care of toward the end. It almost feels like it was her own home till it wasn't, but regardless, when they give me when they give me the symbol of home, it just makes me feel like they're very comfortable at the end, like maybe someone was taking care of them. So you have this female on the other side, and so I'm so happy you found me too. And so there's this female on the other side. She seems a little older. I think I already said that, but yeah. Okay, cool. And that's your primary guardian angel. And then this John character, says he passed before his time. He has dark hair. He takes partial responsibility. He gives me a sign symbol. He goes all at once. And he gives me a sign symbol like going, going, gone. It was your grandma and she lived with you? I'm just seeing that comment about your grandma, okay? I'm just seeing that comment. Thanks for being patient. So this was actually her grandma, and her grandma lived with her. So that would be why she got so specific. And I'm like, I don't know if she was at a house, but she's just telling me she was comfortable. So this is her grandma that lived with her. Oh, her name's Floretta. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Floretta. All right, interesting. Hi, Amanda. Hi, other Amanda. And so we have Floretta here. Good. Well, she appreciates being able to be in the home. She appreciates being taken care of at the end of her life, and so I love that she comes through. Okay, so now let's jump to Mr. John. So John tells me he passes before his time, actually. Tells me he passed really suddenly, unexpectedly. He goes like this, which is my sign symbol for tragic, but then he makes me feel like it was all at once. He makes me feel like going, going, gone, and then he makes it feel like it's all crumbling in. I don't necessarily feel like ultimately it was intentional. I almost feel like it was kind of like, hold on, so I'm just saying, like, I'm getting a lot of words in the back of my brain, which is clairaudience, and so I just feel like, he keeps saying, take it step by step. Then he's like, and then you do it again and again and again, and the situation just like never really changes. It almost seems like an inevitable house of cards that almost piles in on itself, like something we can't shake in a this is what, that was where my mind is, but my next option would be a medical thing you can't chase properly. He takes responsibility for the situation, but he's really showing me what the situation is. He goes, Kato, just say it like this. I was like, okay. He goes, it came all over me. Felt like a wave washed over me. And then I said, he gave me 3 dashes, I got a sign symbol from Spirit with these 3 dashes the other week, and it talked about getting chances to correct, but it's almost like part of who we are, and it does happen suddenly and unexpectedly. And then he gives me the house of cards, like it all just comes crumbling in. Okay, we have our response. Okay, he was in the hospital for 11 months. Because I was like, could be this medical thing. I almost said addiction, but it could have been a medical thing. He was in rehab and then infection, sepsis, and they said no way. So he was in rehab, which led him to the hospital for 11 months, which led to an infection and sepsis, which is talking about that crumbling house of cards, the situation, chance, the partial responsibility, the suddenly, and once it was on the decline, on our way out. Kato, there's nothing else that could have slowed me down. I was in it for life. I started young. I had used it young. I was he goes, there's just no other way, and things happen. It escalated so quickly in my organs. Like, it wasn't even the sepsis. Like, let's say the sepsis wasn't the problem. The organs were like, before, he was in the hospital for 11 months, okay. The organs were shutting down anyways, in my opinion. So the sepsis was just kind of just the crumble of it, like no way out. Yes, his organs were right, and so I feel like it. Yeah. Okay, so he takes responsibility for the chances, because that's what he wrote down. I know you can't see it yet, but that's what he was writing down right here. Is those 3 steps right here? That's the chances that it took in order to like right things. But it just seems like we were hard on our body all the time. His blood pressure was high, right? And I just feel like he's constantly hard on his body. Who is this for you? When I communicated with him, to start out with, he seemed a little younger, but now that I'm like, the more he talks, he like morphs, like he looks older than he was at the end, because like the more he talks, the more I can almost see it. Yeah, when I was talking to him, he looked like 45, super happy. And then he died at 58, probably looked at least 60 something, which I mean, I know it's not a huge difference, but you can kind of sort of see at the end. Okay, this is something that had gone a long time, okay? Okay, and so at 58, your dad, he lived with this. His body didn't handle it anymore. And who is Floretta? Whose mom was that, by the way, just out of pure curiosity, since she had come in first. But just let you know, your dad says, he says you don't run big risks with the same thing happening to you just because of what you saw. I don't know if you have other siblings that maybe run the risk. I feel like he may be mentioning this along those lines. Like if I'm lining up you and all your siblings, I'd say that you're probably good. Your grandma is your mom's mom. Okay, cool. Well, I like that they're up there next to each other too, for sure. Okay, and so then he's talking about acknowledging all the chances, and I feel like, yeah, it doesn't feel like, oh, my dad's this horrible person and then he passes from addiction. I'm like, Dad was probably addicted for a very long time, and then his body got tired, and it didn't make him any less of a dad. You almost don't really know that that's addiction. You don't know it's wrong. You don't know it's different until you're way outside of it looking in, and so he just seems just like a normal person to you. And even though he has his issues and he does take partial responsibility, it seems deeply rooted, and he does acknowledge chances he was given to like correct this, and then he just says like it just wouldn't have worked, it's a long time thing, but he loves you. And he tells me, he goes, well, I didn't have much when I died, Kato, but they have like a shirt and they put some things together for me. I think that you're the type of person that may get a tattoo in honor of somebody's memory as well, but he's showing me maybe some fabric or something we have in honor of his memory that you do keep. He acknowledges not having a whole lot right there at the end. He didn't have addiction. He was in rehab for walking and eating again. What happened that he couldn't walk and eat? His stuff was given away. You have his cards. His stuff was... He's like, I didn't have much. And all of his things were given away. Why? You don't have to give me the hot tea. You don't have to give me tea that hot. Very hot for a live stream. You don't have to do it, but I'll take it. I'll take some tea. Tea will happen. Tea, definitely. Oh, that crumbling happened. Build yourself. Been happening for a very long time. His body was tired. That happened to me with my dad too. Didn't you say something about having trouble walking? I did when Floretta came in. Floretta was her grandma that had come in and talked about how she also had a hard time walking and lived in their home as well. So we did have that fact when it came to her. For him, it was just suddenly and a house of cards, and we have chances to be able to... It couldn't even be the first rehab. Okay, what happened with his walking around? It was not addiction, ladies and gentlemen. It felt like it, the way you pull your... He wasn't pulling himself up. This had to have been something he struggled with for a long time. He was just happy to stay afloat. This wasn't, my dad passed away Monday from cancer. Is he okay, please? Yes. I know I'm in the middle of a different reading, but I would say yes. Wait. What did we say he crumbled like? A house of cards. Remember when I drew the house of cards all the way down to like what she would have in honor of his memory? I was like, he is literally crumbling. Like, there's literally this house of cards. I just keep seeing it. There's this house of cards. I'm like, what do you physically have in honor of his memory? She goes, Kato, I don't have a shirt. All I have are some cards. What? He literally just told me that, and I was like, wait, what? You literally have cards in honor of his memory? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh wait, and then when I was talking about those chances and taking those step downs, what did he have that he couldn't eat? Because he was in rehab, getting his function back. Yeah, long time. He said, long time, wasn't the first rehab. This person's a fighter. Because if it was someone who's addicted, it's like, which they're not. Yes, he was in 2 rehabs. It just sounds like someone who's like, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm kind of along for the ride, and I do definitely... He goes, Kato, I'd stand up, and I'd do fine. I'd lose, it's like my nerve endings. Like, you know how, like your feet tickle and you gotta sit down? Like, it's a nerve ending thing. I moved him from Florida to New York by ambulance. That sounds expensive, but I love that. So, did you move him to New York to take care of him? He looks at me, he goes... And then he talks about how, hold on. Basically, you got right at the end. You took care of him right. He was moved right at the end. He couldn't have made it crazy amounts of time once he got it. He keeps circling for me. The sudden stop. So one... Damn. I almost wish you were audio. So like, yeah, he died after 2 or 3 months. He's like, I made it. Did you guys play those cards together? Suddenly, unexpectedly, she did get a chance to tell me goodbye. So I draw the symbol. Did she not get a chance to tell me goodbye? No, she did get a chance to tell me goodbye. He kind of talks about, like, you're kind of like the caregiver that's like way up his ass and around the corner type of thing, where you're like, you know, he wouldn't have had a moment to like escape you for 2 minutes, you know? You did what on FaceTime? Sorry, I was on a whole different, Oh, you told him you could say goodbye on FaceTime? He's talking about you hunting him down and how he couldn't, oh man. I said goodbye. I love that. First of all, he talks about how attentive you are, how, like, he said she'd have drank it in, Kato, more, but she couldn't. So there was, yeah, they didn't let us all in. Okay! I was going to say, there had to have been some barrier, like you wanted to help do more for him, but you literally couldn't, or maybe you didn't have the capabilities to do that, and I look over and you're like, they didn't let us all in. I'm like, oh, like he's on it. Right when you're on it, he's on it. He said he's visited you in a dream recently, and he says that you can contribute your intuitive abilities to all your deja vu, my dear. Oh, I love this. I love this a lot. I love that he said the House of Cards thing, and you actually have a card deck in honor of his memory. I think that's freaking awesome. Love you, girl. Thank you so much for letting me communicate with your dad and Floretta.